So I've been going through a period where I've been feeling really unmotivated. What I like to do in these phases of life is make a list of the little things that I've accomplished, whether it's a piece of a project that I worked on, like a really tiny little section, paying a bill, getting out of bed can even be one if you're really feeling lazy or depressed, exercising, even if that means just going for a walk, making note of things that I learned from a YouTube video. It can really be anything. Just make a list of all of the little things that you accomplished, no matter how small they are. And then when the day is done, or even after doing this for a couple of days, look back at your list. You're going to see that you accomplished so much more than you realized you could. Exceeding those expectations you had of yourself is going to lead to you feeling more and more motivated as each day goes by. Because you've just counteracted the negative belief that you had of yourself. You believed that you couldn't do anything, felt terrible about yourself, wanted to give up, etc., etc. But now you've created an environment that you can look at that has solid evidence indicating that, you know what, you can do things after all. And that you're awesome for accomplishing all of these tasks. When you allow yourself to embrace that feeling, over time, it's going to lead to you getting back to your old self. Because all of this motivation is going to add up. Essentially, you have to fight that awful, almost evil, really annoying voice telling you how terrible you are because you can't get anything done. You need to counteract it with a direct opposite that is completely irrefutable. And that's what happens in this case. You can't deny the facts when they're right in front of you, when they're written down on that list. And you know what? You are awesome. You're awesome for getting it done. You're amazing for even writing the list. That list in itself is an accomplishment. It's a task that you set out to do, and you did it. You succeeded. Celebrate that. Keep riding the waves of those celebrations, and in no time, you're going to be back to your normal self, feeling motivated, doing the things that you love to do. I think that too often we don't give ourselves credit for the little bits of progress that we make, and that's a mistake. We need to give ourselves credit for every ounce of progress that happens. It's very easy to exclusively focus on the big things, and that's why people do it. It also happens because that's the only thing that people recognize. People don't care about baby steps. All they care about is that you accomplished the big task that needed to be accomplished. They're only going to see you when the result of that task is on display. So as a result, we have trouble validating ourselves and what it took to get there. We only validate ourselves when we've gotten there. I think that subconsciously seeking the approval of others is what leads to that. So you have to make a conscious choice to combat it. It's not easy, especially when it's partly responsible for what created and amplified that mean inner voice in your head. But it's a battle that you can continue to get better at fighting each time you engage in it and sharpen your skills to deal with it. Unfortunately, I don't think you can stop it completely, but you can absolutely minimize its impact. And there are, of course, people who only focus on the small steps because it makes them feel like they're doing something. I don't think either is healthy. I think you need to focus on both. If you're only doing a bunch of small steps that aren't really going anywhere, as in they're not really leading up to the accomplishment of something bigger, then it's basically pointless. Meaning you're not going to feel any better because you're not actually doing anything to help yourself. But if you're actually trying to make some change, that's where it counts. Because the reality is, in order to accomplish something big, it takes a bunch of little steps to get there. All of those baby steps add up into something great. So break it down before you break. Make that list. Look at the things you've done. Feel the awesomeness. Love yourself. And hey, if you start making that list right now, or you've already started, guess what? You've already begun the path back to change, to ending this state you're in. The goal that you're going to accomplish is feeling brand new or renewed and being motivated to do what you love doing and what you need to do. It's okay. Take your time. Baby steps. They're going to add up. You'll see. The greatness is going to be feeling more confident in yourself, functioning well, feeling happy, and knowing that you're awesome because you got this no matter what. Now that you have the skills to defeat that inner voice that tries to tear you down and to get back to where you need to be, where you want to be. And here's a fun fact. This is another step in my motivation journey. I haven't felt motivated to post any content, but here I am doing it. There have been some obstacles, but what helped me get to doing this right now is thinking about my list. I looked at it a few days ago, and I was pretty impressed with things that I'd done. I actually surprised myself a little bit because days go by so fast and it really feels like you don't do a lot sometimes. You really forget about those little things and the impact they do have. And when you look at them, you're like, oh my God, I actually did some meaningful stuff here. It wasn't necessarily the things that I wanted to do, but it was things that needed to be done, or it was things that pushed me forward down a path that I would like to go down. So, anyway, reflecting on all of that is what got me to this moment because I was like, well, I'm going through this right now. Maybe if I share the way I work through this issue with other people, it can help them. And that's my hope. I hope that it helps you get back on track if you've fallen off track, or when there comes a time that you do fall off track, because it's inevitable that will happen since life is full of all kinds of crazy unpredictabilities. I hope that this is something that can help you when that time arises. In short, it's about you celebrating your successes, both big and small, realizing when you are your own obstacle and what you can do about it, being patient with yourself, and trying to remember that things often have more value than what you give them credit for. Basically, you gotta love yourself and fight yourself all at the same time. Confusing, frustrating, but worth it. If you enjoyed what I had to say here, like and subscribe for more.